Ladies with gentle hands. It's going to be a tough episode to make.
Very tough
isn't
one,
it?
yeah.
Man,
We were contemplating
man.
not even showing up.
Oh, man, I think we all were. Not just me.
Oh, my gosh. Rough one.
You know, it's a tough one, man. You know,
Yeah.
this is
What's
episode
the
22.
surprise?
Yeah, what's the surprise?
He's wearing a Saints jersey, probably.
Yeah, what is it? All right.
Go Pat.
This dude here, that's a Favre jersey.
I
Pick
told
this
y'all since the
dude.
jump, man. I told y'all they're going to a bowl, bro. I've been
this-
go Pack go.
This guy.
Let's
Oh,
go.
boy. Oh,
You saying
boy.
go, Pack, go. That's crazy.
Green,
Oh, my
yellow,
God.
man.
Oh, man, I didn't know
Got
we
the-
had one in the skies over here. That's
The Mississippi great, man. He
The thief?
He ain't still that
Whoa,
money
the
there. He ain't still that money.
Bro's
The
rocking
free
his
hit,
Mississippi
melon.
missile. Oh, boy.
That is
All right.
crazy. You just have that on
Well-
on demand?
It was like a
But you don't have a
random,
Cowboys
like,
jersey, don't you?
bro.
That's-
no, I
that's
do,
insane.
I do, but it's not with me right now. But this was with me,
All right.
and so I just,
Yeah,
you know,
that's
I ain't know what
crazy.
the tackle.
I see where your priorities are, man.
No, it's not like that, bro. Like I got a Marion Barber jersey in the
Marion
tuck, bro.
Barber.
Yeah,
All right,
Rip-
that's
rip
some true
Marion
stuff.
Barber. Rest in peace.
Yeah, that's some true stuff, man. That's true. That's a true
Wow.
jersey right there.
No, I know.
You know, this is our first week where we are not going to preview a Cowboys game. On this show, obviously, episode 22. I'm TJ.Krilowic, your host. This is Courtney Machani with the Brett Favre jersey on, and then Joseph Duffy as well, joining me. This is probably a low point in Dallas sports for this podcast. You know, it's that was not expected. That was a very tough watch. I'm sorry to you guys for my watch party. I feel like every single time we watch a game together, it's always trash.
It's
Like,
true,
it
though.
always sucks, man.
It sucks. I just want to see one win with TJ, bro. Every time, the last few have been us getting killed in Game 3 in Arlington against the Astros. The other one was Game 4, also with you,
So
getting
disappointing,
killed
man.
with TJ. Did we watch anything else together? I feel like
I
we
know,
watched
I
something
know.
else.
I know.
I feel like we
y'all
tried to watch one of the playoff clinching games and we lost.
Yeah,
to
it
the
was
Mariners.
I think it was
The Mariners game. Oh
Yeah,
my
the Mariners
gosh.
game.
Aroldis blew the
So-
save. J.P. Crawford walk-off win. Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable, man.
0 for 3 to TJ watch parties.
But you know what? Yeah.
Playoff Luka will save us.
Playoff Luka will save
sure,
us.
for sure.
Come on, it's gonna happen. Hey, you know,
Mm.
it's a tough time, man. You know, when nobody expected the Cowboys, but hey, you know, the Mavericks still in playoff contention.
Moving
The
6
Stars,
seed.
yep, 6 seed now, no longer in the play-ins. They're having a good January so far. You have the Stars, who are almost first in the Central Division, still fighting for it, still in the playoffs, and the Texas Rangers are still World Series champions. I know y'all
Yeah.
saw that new art
Can't forget.
New art
Can't
on the-
forget.
on
I
the-
love
I
it.
see it
on the wall
I
right
see it.
there. Yeah, we're just gonna
I love it, man.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he hyped this
get
up
rid of
for those
that. Get rid of
listening.
the Cowboys.
For
Get rid
those
of the
listening,
Cowboys flag behind there.
for those listening, he hyped up this new backdrop, so I was ready to see it on his camera.
It is. Oh,
I was
yeah,
ready
you
for
can't even
this.
see it because of the sun. I don't even know if y'all could see what it says.
I can
It
see
doesn't even say World Series champions, at least on my screen.
It's still nice.
can't
It's still
see it.
nice art.
You can still see it. It still sends
just
the
a glare.
message that we're World Series champions.
Of course.
And you know what? Let's start off with a good note for this podcast. Of course, we're going to get into the Cowboys, and we're going to talk about the Mavericks and Stars in their kind of inconsistent month of January, but overall, still kind of solid month for both of those squads. But first, let's go on and do on today's date of Dallas sports history. Get us started with a good note. January 18th, 2016. This is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks defeated the Boston Celtics. I always love beating Boston teams.
Of course.
It's always a pleasure to do so. We beat them 118 to 113 in overtime to go to 24-19, kind of similar to our record now. Dirk Nowitzki had a double-double with 31 points and 11 rebounds. Darren Williams, there we go. Darren Williams, what a name.
Wow,
Chimed in with
my
20
God.
points, including 10 points in overtime. Here's a better name, though. Zaza Pachulia had 19 rebounds this game, too. A funny note about this game, though, is that Celtics TV color analyst Tommy Hinchun, is that how you say his last name? I know he's a very big legend. Heinsohn,
passed away
for the Celtics legend, said Kelly Olynyk could potentially be better than Dirk Nowitzki. Kelly Olynyk scored 10 points this game.
Man, hey, listen.
Hey, Dirk struggled that first year though.
The Celtics broadcast has always been known for its like clear bias on like at the commentary table.
To say that.
Tommy Heinsohn was like one of the famous like color commentators who was just openly rooting for it. So I'm not even shocked that you would think Kelly was better than Dirk. But Darren Williams, DFW legend, the Colony High School right next to Frisco, of course. Got to acknowledge my DFW legends, of course, for the podcast. But man, Zaza Pachulia, oof, that name for the Mavs era. We've had a lot of front court people in this roster this past decade. But man, Zaza Pachulia, I don't care what anybody says.
Bro.
I don't care what anybody says. He did that on purpose with Kawhi.
With Kawhi? Yeah,
he did that on purpose. Come on.
I think so too. And what's your favorite like discreet like Mavs big man in like the 21st century? I think mine would have to be Bernard James.
I gotta go Salah Mejri, bro. Salah Mejri.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Woo, that boy, he could block. I love it.
Yeah, I would go Salah. I would have to go Salah. You're right. You changed my mind already.
Tunisia. I love it.
So our trivia question, by the way, is, and you know, it's just because I wanted to include it, man. I didn't know what to do. We're gonna do Kelly Olynyk. How many teams has he played on? And can you name the 5? Oh, well, or I gave it up. 5 teams. Can you name the 5 teams?
No way I can. No way. No.
There's some obvious ones, man.
Okay,
you know, you got to know at least the team he's playing for now. Yeah.
He's on the Jazz right now. Obviously, Celtics.
Are we doing it right now? Are we saving it for later?
Oh, okay.
Screw it. We can do it now. We can do it. I don't care.
Okay.
Celtics. He was on the Heat.
Yeah. He was on the Heat.
Jazz,
obviously.
That's 3.
2. Was he ever a Sun?
I don't think that was a Sun. No way.
Good guess, though. All right, he played the 2 other teams. All right, there's one in the Western Conference, one in the Eastern Conference. Both of them were like half seasons. He was part of a major trade for the Heat and another team that got him. They got the Heat a specific player that never really panned out to be that good for them.
Was he a Raptor?
Nope.
I almost thought.
Not a Raptor. That was close. That's a good guess too. Think it's a red team. It is a red team. Both of the teams are red teams.
Man.
East and West red. Bulls?
No. Now you're just naming teams.
Yeah, that was just red team. I'm actually gonna think I'm gonna actually go eat my knowledge real quick. This is
same division though. If you know
Wizards.
Wizards, no.
Nah, he just.
I'm just talking. I'm yapping.
No. Yapping.
A red team.
What else is red?
Okay. All right. Let me see.
I might be a casual man. This is crazy.
Yo, you said half season though, so I'm not like, you know.
Yeah, you know. All right. If I name drop the name of the trade that he was part of, Victor Oladipo trade.
Oh, Pacers. Okay.
Well, there's another team that he played for.
Yeah.
What did Oladipo play for before the Heat?
Depot played for the Thunder.
Now he was also part of another trade, Victor Oladipo. Before he got traded to the Heat, he was also part of the James Harden trade. So he went
Rockets.
The Rockets.
When was he on the Rockets?
I'm sure.
When he got traded for Oladipo, I think that was the bubble year. And then he had one more team. Y'all having
a team in the East with red. Team in the East with red. You're not talking alternate jersey. You're talking primary jersey. They wear red.
They've been historical this year. They've been historical.
Historically
bad Pistons. Let's go.
There we go.
I remember
he was on the Detroit Pistons.
Look at TJ trying to throw us off. That's nasty. That's disgusting. Wow.
I remember Pistons. I do not remember Rockets, but I remember Pistons.
Okay, saying Magic after James Harden.
What?
Yeah, no, he was on the Rockets. I remember that. I remember that.
Wow.
I think I do. I can't remember if he did anything like. Nah, he never like killed the Mavs on the Rockets, but I know he was on the Rockets at some point. I remember
I just
that.
remember like he finally switched. Like when he went to the Heat, he started like reviving his career and switched to like the ponytail instead of having that classic headband look. It was so weird. That look was crazy.
Yeah, I know, man.
It
Yeah,
looked like
that's
the
a
70s
really
hippie,
bad
bro.
look for the next Dirk Nowitzki. All right.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
with further ado, let's get into the bad part of this podcast, which is the Cowboys. But let's get into the Weddle first. All right, we got a Weddle game. Quick little
Please.
Weddle game. If it's gonna be Romeo Dobbs or anyone on the Packers, I'm gonna lose it though. All right, who do we want to guess though? Who's gonna be the first guess?
Adam Troutman.
That's gonna piss me off, bro.
I don't know.
No, I feel like I'm thinking of the other tight end that you got pissed at. You're not confusing the tight ends, right?
Jawan Johnson.
No, I'm thinking the
Ooh.
other. You had another tight end that cost you on the Jags game. He dropped that ball. Is it Fabian Moreau?
Bro. Yeah, it is Moreau. It is Moreau.
Not
yeah.
Moreau. It's not. Is that his name?
Yeah, his last name is Moreau. I can't spell it.
Foster Moreau.
Could not be
Foster.
worse than that.
Halvin. You picked
Could not be worse
RB1. Taller than 5'10", younger than 28.
Hey, go ahead and
Number-
trade him next year. It's just about random, but
Might as well, bro. He should have been gone already. What are y'all
They
doing
trade
in
that
New
for,
Orleans?
but-
Yeah, he should have.
But that's
That's a
a whole
good
different
point.
discussion. Let's go.
Bring him over here.
Let's stay on topic, please.
All right, so this has definitely got to be. I don't know, man. It's either a quarterback or wide receiver. This is the easy mode. It's got to be a prominent name.
Quarterback or wide receiver, prominent name.
It's got to be somewhere
AFC?
young. AFC.
Go. Well, it's not
TJ Stroud.
NFC. Yeah.
Justin Herbert. CJ Stroud. Yeah, CJ Stroud.
You got to put a dot, I guess. Oh.
Yeah, I guess so.
AFC
Okay.
South
All right, there's a
QB.
quarterback.
It's Will Levis.
Ooh, yeah, Will Levis.
Yeah,
yeah,
Will
yeah,
Levis is
that's
easy.
a good.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Mayo man.
Big.
What?
Oh. Is it Malik?
Oh man, this is
No
nasty.
way.
No way we're
What?
getting
That
back.
Can't be
wasn't
because
Levis?
Tennessee. Can't be
That's
Tennessee.
messed up.
Anthony
right, so then
Richardson's
it's,
not 24, is he?
No, I don't think Anthony Richardson is. Wait. Oh my gosh, that was.
Those are his
not-
measurables.
well, then
Those are
it's
his
Trevor.
measurables.
Yeah,
So,
it might be Anthony Richardson.
It's Lawrence.
Oh yeah, Trevor.
That's stupid.
That's crazy. That's so bad.
Trevor Lawrence. All right, 4.
6'6",
Not
prototypical
good. Do
QB.
we want to go
man.
hard mode? We can
Mm,
go
Sure.
hard mode.
Let's
yeah,
see.
you can go.
Okay.
Let's see.
All right. Who's it gonna be?
CJ Gardner Johnson.
Like, why you keep doing the same thing, bro?
I'm sorry. I just had to push you.
He's gone so annoying.
Should have
bro.
resigned him.
He's gone so annoying. I don't want him anymore on my team.
All right. Someone in the NFC.
North.
Huh. Might be
James-
someone on the offensive
How tall is
side.
James?
I don't know.
Brad Barrett. No.
It's an
told
offensive
you.
player.
I don't know. I feel like it would usually say that it was closer on position wise if it was defense, but I don't know.
Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter, I like it.
He had a rough game last night. Oh my
did.
god.
I guess it might be someone on
Yeah,
offense.
it
I don't
should
think
be
it's ever
offense.
been anyone on offense.
Nah, it hasn't. Better not be no O lineman. Let's go. If it's not NFC North or NFC East, so we can go NFC South.
Yeah, NFC South or it's NFC West. So we have, we could.
Let's go Drake. Drake London's pretty popular.
Who?
Drake
Said
London.
Drake London.
They just made
That's
it.
Love it.
Oh my lord.
What
This
What
is
the
this
hell is
bad.
this?
Who is a number
All right,
5?
number
Is it B?
5.
Oh no, I'm about to say Bijan. I was so
It's
Nah,
gonna
stupid.
be
it can't
Bijan. It's gotta be NFC West. Wait, I'm
NFC
so
West.
confused, man. Who could this be? Is this like a kicker? Kickers can't-
Who is number 5, bro?
This is a
I
Brian
don't pay
Anchor.
attention to numbers like this.
Oh,
Try-
this is bad.
NFC West.
Oof.
Who is a number 5?
John Wolford the third, bro. I don't know.
Who?
John Wolford the third, ain't he like that backup? I don't
Man,
know.
if you get this,
That would
I'm
be
just
absurd.
guessing.
Wolford.
the quarterback, Wolf? Oh,
Nah.
Oh, okay, yeah, I didn't
yeah, he's a
know.
guy. That's
That's
crazy.
all right.
Fuck. Okay.
I'm just gonna put it a generic name so we can see what
Oh my God, NFC
It's
West
not
number
even San
5.
Francisco.
We might be
NFC.
cooked.
This is
I
bad.
think we are
NFC West.
cooked.
NFC West number 5.
Tutu Atwell? Is Tutu Atwell like?
Is he number
No,
5?
he can't be a receiver.
Not a
He can't
wide
be a receiver.
receiver though. What's a
Is he
kicker?
really an
It's a
lineman?
Cardinal.
Ooh.
Is Matt Prater
Big.
number 5?
He might be.
Ooh, that's a good guess.
Oh my
Bingo.
God.
That's nuts, bro.
There we go. It was a kicker.
Kicker, bro.
Certified
That's
ball
nuts.
nuts.
That's crazy, man.
I love it.
That's nuts.
Damn, I like it though. A kicker? I like it.
9 tries right
bad.
there.
Yeah. Well, that was our 6th guess, I believe. Not too bad though for the hard mode. 4 modes on the easy mode for Weddle. We could do better than that. We could do better than that, but hard ain't bad. All right. Now let's get into the actual bad stuff. So the Cowboys lost 48-32 though. Everybody take a deep breath, all right? Hold it in. Hold it in. All right. Let's keep our composure. I know it's going to be tough. That was a tough game to watch. So I just want to ask, how are we feeling? You know, how are we feeling like mentally first? You know, how are we doing?
My boy John about
TJ,
to break,
what kind of question is that, man? How am I feeling? Oh my God, I'm miserable. That's how I'm feeling. But no, I mean, back in my head, man, I told y'all last week Matt LaFleur is a great coach. But like, if I'm looking at this tape right here, is it really because the Packers offense is dynamic or we're just incompetent? You look at that stuff. I was complaining about when we were watching the watch party. Dan Quinn, like, we've been running man defense all season long.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, of course, zone defense has been primarily reserved for, you know, late game stages. You know, we're already up by, say, 20, 25 points. This man comes out here in the first half and a very tight game, which is, you know, not much time really, going in the zone, and Romeo Doubs is running free. Romeo Doubs had, I think, 102 yards on us in the first 17 minutes of game action. He never does that. Jalen Reed, their leading receiver the past 6 weeks, he wasn't even a factor in the first half. They hardly even targeted him in the second half. Christian Watson, hardly a factor. And, of course, I said it already last week, Aaron Jones, he killed us like he always does. I believe that's 10 touchdowns now in 4 or 5 games against the Cowboys. He just always destroys us. The run D was once again incompetent. We see this every single year in the playoffs. It's always our downfall. If you can't stop the run, you're not even going to last, you know, 3 quarters in the playoff game. If you cannot even remotely stop the run, we saw in the first half, TJ, where Aaron Jones got tackled for a loss, I believe, in that first play. And then the second play, we thought we were getting 3rd down, and then once again, it was the penalties. I think it was penalties, yeah. So it was illegal contact. They get a first down.
Right from the start.
It's like immediately. So I can't even pick out a positive in this game. I'm trying to desperately, but we talk about culture all the time. I know some people in the timeline were complaining about this is just a product of, you know, bad Cowboys culture. Guys on podcasts trying to, you know, like Micah, who's like having a podcast. I mean, no disrespect to Mike. I love Micah, but, you know, they're talking about how he's doing a podcast while playing. But when we were winning, you know, people weren't complaining about that as much. So you're going to switch up on him now because we got beat bad like this? It's just who the Cowboys are at the end of the day. And I don't know if it's a quote-unquote culture thing. It's just a lack of preparation. They weren't locked in. They didn't come to play. I don't know if you want to blame it on a podcast. I've seen other players, you know, adjust well. But, you know, this team right here. The
podcast does piss me off a little bit.
I mean, it can. I understand. Him doing playoff predictions, that was pretty weird. I'm not going to lie. As a player, playoff predictions is crazy. And, of course, now when you lose like this, the whole league is making fun of you. You got the Niners saying, oh, we're planning for the Packers in the second quarter. Kyle Shanahan with a little smirk on his face. But, you know, you expect this.
I was actually going to get into
the Cowboys to lose. But it's crazy, man. Sorry for talking to him.
Yeah. Now, I just want to point out real quick. I mean, Micah Parsons, he tweeted out, I forgot what game it was. Was it the Browns-Texans game where he called out one of the defensive linemen of the Browns saying, hey, I would not go down like this. Yeah, the effort. Yeah, I would not go down like this. only one QB pressure
QB
out of
pressure.
19, one QB pressure, lowest percentage of his career. Did not show up.
They
Unfortunate.
couldn't sniff Jordan Love.
Mr. Favre, what are your thoughts though?
Man, I mean, I'm speechless, bro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? In solidarity, bro, I got you. And then I told y'all, man, that he's finna win. You know, I can't let that happen, man. But I mean,
Thank you.
there's not really much to say, bro. I mean, we all watched the game. We all saw what happened. There's really no analytics that can really go into this. It's kind of like Joe was saying, it's a culture thing. Like they didn't get beat because Packers are a better team analytically. They got beat because the Packers showed up when they didn't show up. I think the craziest thing about it to me was kind of the star players that they do have on this team are the ones that didn't show up. And usually, in the playoffs, that's when you expect all your star players to show up. But when you talk about culture, I mean, Deron Bland has been a promising young corner, all-pro, which got a lot of talk in the media about how he didn't deserve the all-pro. I mean, we can talk about how Deron Bland played on Sunday, but he did not play
DeAndre Jordan meme. DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan All-NBA.
That's, man. I mean, that legal contact, bro.
Who invited that man?
These DBs were lost, man. And, their defensive coordinator wasn't doing them any favors. But, man, Stephon Gilmore in that one play against Dobbs.
Oh, man.
Dobbs,
it's like, that's just embarrassing.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel like Dave Quinn was just up in that press box just thinking, like, they've been tearing up our zone coverage this entire game. The least thing they expect is for us to run zone one more time. Let's just keep running zone. Let's keep running.
Micah in zone, bro.
At what point it felt like sabotage? It felt like he was setting us up. It's like he's an undercover agent.
Felt like sabotage.
Why against the youngest team in the league? The average age of the Packers is 25 years old. For some reason, we're not, as a veteran-led team, not putting that pressure on them. For some strange reason, they put the pressure on us as the older, more experienced team. And the name we haven't said so far? Dak Prescott. Man, I know the stat line. Don't let that stat line fool you, because he did not show up at all in this game. And I love my guy Dak. He is my quarterback. It's time to have a talk, though. My jaw. You literally had to pick up my jaw after that pick six. I was stunned. I want to know when he was open, when he was possibly open.
Nah, man, he wasn't.
I have no words, man. I got nothing to say. This team, nobody showed up.
Yeah, that pick six. You remember in 2016 divisional round, he also threw a pick six against Green Bay on a screenplay that was botched up, and I mean, he really struggled at the start of the Green Bay game in 2016, but he kind of regained himself, was able to get back into the game, and eventually almost win us the game. This time, could not do it. So I don't know. It's interesting to see. It was interesting to see Dak play like that, because that's the least that I expected from him. He was shook. You could tell. I mean, you could really tell from his eyes just watching him after every play. I mean, that guy was shook. He did not know what to do. It's just a tough outing. And I was telling y'all during the watch party, I mean, I was like, is this the last game we're going to see Dak in a Cowboys uniform? Like, is this really it? Now, what it looks like right now is that's not the case. Looks like they might be going into contract extensions. I don't know. I'll leave the floor out to y'all. What do y'all think about that?
Here's the problem, man. Like, 3 straight 12-win seasons. We haven't had that in ages. I believe since the 90s. You literally had everything almost put on a silver platter for you. Of course, not like everything, but this was, like I said last week, the best opportunity you had to at least make the NFC Championship in like our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
We've had to go through Hall of Famers just to even get past the divisional round. You come back and rely on the Eagles spiraling down to win the NFC East. You get home field advantage in the first round in the wild card. You play the youngest team in the league, who's the 7th seed. So this should be, an easy win. And then after that, you play, another home game, which we don't usually get in the divisional round. After you got bounced, of course, in the divisional round against San Fran last year, and we still find a way to mess it up. So with Dak Prescott, I don't know. We've tried to make excuses for him in the playoffs in the past to say, it's always the defense that didn't show up. Nobody showed up in this game. Nobody did. So with Dak, I think it's a 50-50 thing. If they were to move on from him, I wouldn't be shocked because it almost feels like we wasted our time in this regular season watching this team.
Yeah.
They fooled us. They really fooled us again. I mean, it almost feels like it's a crime. I don't know.
I know.
Bamboozled,
I mean, not to mention though. I mean, it took about 10 minutes into the game for Dak to throw his first pass. I mean, we had the Packers, elected to receive the ball, scored in like 7-8 minutes. Just took out half the period or half the quarter, and then Dak comes in. We do like 2 straight running plays. It's about 5 minutes till he gets his first pass in. He's already cold. So I don't know. I mean, 36 wins in the last 3 years. You're talking about this being our best opportunity to at least make the conference championship this year. I don't know if it's really Mike McCarthy or if it's Dak Prescott or if it was the defense. I mean, it was everybody. Let's be real. But I mean, come on, man. Look at the quarterbacks right now in the NFC that are still in. You got Baker Mayfield, you got Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and who's the other one? Oh, wait, who's the other one? Brock Purdy. You're telling me Dak can't be in that group of the last 4 teams in the NFC? You're telling me he can't do that? You're telling me he can't make the NFC Championship when those are the 4 quarterbacks still left in the NFC? It's unbelievable. I don't know if it's really Dak's fault or if it's Mike McCarthy's fault. We've been talking about this throughout the whole season. I can tell when the Cowboys are going to lose a game simply by watching the first quarter.
Yes.
There's no adjustments. This season kind of went just like how every other season went for them. They would lose games that they should have won. They were kind of struggling against good teams. They had moments in the season where you're like, they're the best team in the league. And then you had other moments in the moments of the season where you're like, I don't know, man. They don't even look like a playoff team. This is every year for them, man. I don't know if it's Mike McCarthy. It really is a culture thing, man. The penalties, that happens every single playoff game, every year. We always have struggles with penalties. We always have struggles with discipline, and we always have things happen that just we don't see throughout the whole year. The Packers game is something that nobody could ever expect. Nobody could ever expect. If you heard somebody say, yeah, I bet Jordan Love's going to go for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns and a perfect passer rating before the game, they were joking to you. They were trying to get you mad. They weren't really expecting that, but it did happen. So I don't know. I mean, do y'all think that so I asked this poll on the social media. What would be y'all's first move as the GM though for the Cowboys? Would you guys fire McCarthy? Would you look into trading Dak? Would you even extend Dak? What would you run it back? No minimal changes,
It almost feels scary that I really don't know. I really don't know. Like I have no answers after this abysmal performance. That's the scary thing. You wish you could have a clear-cut thing. But I don't know what my first move would be. I think because I don't know if you can fire a guy after 3 straight 12-win seasons. The exception is though that it's been only 1 playoff win in those 36-win seasons. So
and it was against that 8-9 team.
Yes, I would think you might have to move on from McCarthy. I'll just say it. I think you have to. Because the problem is his clock management. We already knew that was a problem. The problem is the offense, though. It's been clicking well, but it just disappears in the playoffs every single time. So I don't know if it's a McCarthy thing or if it's a quarterback thing. You see CD checked out after the first quarter, already arguing on the sidelines. Again, a culture thing. I don't know, man. I guess I can say McCarthy. I don't know about Dak.
I mean, it's kind of weird because, like you said, Joe, the offense and everything. When we see Mike McCarthy's problems in the regular season, it's like you said, it's the time management stuff. But when we get to the playoffs, we can't even see Mike McCarthy's faults because the whole team just falls apart. So it's you can't really gauge him on those 1 playoff games because Dak just he just shits the bed, bro. I have to say it. He just does it, bro. It really ain't much to say. I mean, and then even the more I even think about it off that game, when you really think about even the defense, I mean, we all know as much as we love Dak that the catalyst really of even though they had number 1 offense, the catalyst of that team really was those turnovers from the defense. And I mean, Dan Quinn, I mean, the more he can't beat any of his coaches from Atlanta Falcons. All three of those coaches, Mike McDaniels, Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, were all under him, and he all lost to him. So I'd say, like, as a GM, let Dan Quinn interview whoever, because honestly, I mean, if you can't beat the Niners,
Amen.
you can't beat the Packers are coming up. If you can't beat the Niners, you for sure shouldn't have a job at the DC for the Cowboys, because that's who they need to face. I mean, and then so I'd say you gotta let Dan Quinn do whatever. I don't even want him as the next head coach if that's what they're looking towards. Cause I know that's even like a thing that could happen. And I'd say I feel like the most realistic thing is that they're running it back. I think Jerry, as he gets older, he is quicker to make decisions. But I feel like all the money that he has put into Dak, and I don't know what the dead cap situation is if they end up releasing him or even trading him or all the semantics on that, but. I think he's in room one way with Dak. I don't even know if there's any coach on the market that would really like the best coach for his team, because like Bill Belichick is the number one prospect probably on this coaching cycle, but I don't see him being a Cowboy. I could maybe see Mike Vrabel coming here and doing something with this organization, but I mean, let's be real. When y'all all saw Mike McCarthy the original time when he did get signed by the Cowboys, like we all knew it wasn't a slam dunk hire. So no one really on the Cowboys fandom really has a inkling to Mike McCarthy anyway. I want to see him gone. I mean, that's what they should do, but I don't think they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, adding on to that though, it's interesting though, because if you guys remember Jason Garrett, I believe it was the 2017 season when it was the 2018 season we lost in the divisional round, had a horrible, collapse to the Rams. Everybody wanted Jason Garrett gone. And everybody's wanting to have Jason Garrett gone. He had 1 year left on his contract. Jerry Jones let Jason Garrett play out his final year of his contract, and then we decided to let him go, which was 2019, the 8-8 season, of course. 8-8.
That was bad.
But you're looking at it right now. Mike McCarthy has 1 more year too, and I think Courtney's right. I think the sad truth is that he's going to run it back. He's going to run it back, maybe with Mike McCarthy, maybe, but most definitely, I think he's going to have Dak Prescott as the quarterback next year. I don't know how I feel about that right now. I'm going to have to take a couple months off of, being a Dak Prescott defender to, make a decision on if I really want to see him under snap for my team again. Because that was bad. That was really bad. But I mean, if you look at Mike McCarthy, man, I mean, regular season success is something that's huge. I mean, he was able to beat Philadelphia and Dallas all 3 years, 36 wins. He's had some really notable wins, but I'm telling you right now, the legacy of McCarthy, if he were to get fired this offseason, will always, for me, be the final play against San Francisco last year in the divisional round.
Yeah.
With Zeke under snap, him getting sacked immediately, or not getting sacked, but, him getting pancaked and then Turpin catching it immediately, getting tackled. I mean, that's just what I'm going to think of. That's just what I'm going to think of Mike McCarthy. It's tough, man. It's not enough playoff success for 3 years, especially with a franchise like this. You're looking at, just the mental part of this franchise, just the mental part of, we are America's team. We are the most valuable franchise in America and the world, actually, too. This is the Cowboys. We should be successful, and we are not successful. And to have year after year after year of these disappointing playoff losses, not even losses where you can hold your head high, just losses where you're like, oh my goodness, this sucks, man. This is bad. It's just tough to be like, yeah, you can have another year, man. It's now or never for this Cowboy team, I think. They're going to have a tough time, man. It's going to be a really interesting offseason. So,
that last
does
part's
anyone
hitting
else?
on the reels.
Oh, well, thank you.
That last part is real worth it right there.
Hey,
we're the most valuable franchise, not only in the nation, but in the world. I like that part. It's true, though. No, a lot of people don't know that. NFL franchise is the most valuable. But it's just funny. I'll let this be my last thought. How Packers fans don't even like this defensive coordinator. They wanted this dude gone for the past 2 years. And he had a masterclass on Sunday. I don't even know if it was a masterclass really, because he really was, doing the same stuff he's always done. They hardly had any, pressure on Dak, for being honest. Like Courtney said, like Dak kind of just wet the bed. And, he made the defensive coordinator of the Packers actually look competent. And they want that guy gone for 2 years. And so, I don't even know how Packers fans would even feel after that defensive performance, because they had the Packers defense looking like they were top 10 out there. Crazy.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be different. Hopefully, I don't know. I don't even know if I can watch San Francisco versus Green Bay, because it's just like, I don't even want any of those teams to win, man.
Oh, my God.
At least the Eagles are out, though.
Yeah,
sort of
we have
ease
got
the
the
pain.
Eagles,
Sort of
yeah.
ease the pain.
that kind of just makes those Eagles wins, even though they're a divisional team, and it's a big game regardless. It kind of makes those Eagles wins just feel so like enemy now, because that team just collapsed so bad. Like, and they honestly are in. They're not in the worse spot than the Cowboys, I'd say. But they're kind of close. I mean, they had to bench one of their star premier cornerbacks in a game versus the Bucks because he was so bad.
Bro,
I didn't wanna say it.
Trey Palmer, and who else were having a game?
A game.
It was the other.
Yeah, Palmer had a good game.
Who was it? Palmer and the other guy who dodged 3-4 tackles. Slade just couldn't tackle him in that first touchdown.
Oh, that tackle performance from
Joshua
Moore?
Joshua Moore? What was his name? I think.
I don't remember.
Oh my God!
But anyways, man, I didn't watch much.
Insane.
I wasn't gonna say it on the podcast, but I was like, I'm looking at the Eagles right now, and they could easily make a Texas Rangers run, man. They reminded me completely of the Rangers. The huge regular season collapse. I was like, now they're gonna go into having an away game in all the playoffs. The Rangers went undefeated. I was like, maybe they go all the way to the Super Bowl again.
That could have been.
I'm glad I was wrong, though. I was really glad. I was like, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they just turned it up all of a sudden. But, I mean, I don't know. Real quick. Provide it with a one-answer response. Would you guys rather have the Cowboys season or the Eagles season this year?
I mean, I will always take more wins in a home. This is so weird to say, because they both end in L's. So I don't even know if I'd even have.
But you should have expected the Eagles, man. That was the thing. I was just I think I would have rather had the Eagles.
Yeah,
I don't know. I guess that makes sense. But probably
where the Cowboys need to be, I think that they need the Packers L more than they needed that Bucks L. Like, if they lost to a Bucks that way, then,
Stephen A. Machani. First take answer, bro.
Hey, bro, listen, it was bad, but listen, bro, they need that L. They need that Packers
I was going to say that.
Did the Cowboys lose or did the Packers win? What do you think, Stephen Machani?
Hey,
now get your cowboy hat on.
How do?
They understand it. They understand it.
It's just it's crazy.
Are we going? We're going the Mavs talk.
Yeah, let's do it.
Anyone else want to do anything about the Cowboys? What do you want? What do you want to say?
I said we could just keep this as a Cowboy exclusive, man. But we could keep going. We could keep
Cowboys
going.
roast session.
This shit.
Hey,
Man.
Nah, I'm in too much pain. We gotta talk about how Timmy is balling.
Yeah, how about Himmy Hardaway and Kai? All right, so we both had 2 40 pieces in our last game against New Orleans. I mean, my goodness, man. Let's go.
Hardaway,
that was huge. Good bounce back win.
Don't say
Mr. Hardaway Jr.
He's just building up that trade value. That's what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. He's a good man. I like it. He's building up the trade value.
Did you hear that? Like Siakam, I think Siakam said today that he was like, if it's not the Raptors, I really, I'm hoping to test free agency. I don't really care what team I get traded to.
Yeah,
I'm sick of this, dude. Sick of this.
I saw him say that if he went to the, I think it was the Kings, he went sign a new contract. I think it was for most of the teams he went sign a new contract. So.
Yeah, I think he's just saying that for like majority of people.
Why?
He's like, I'm gonna test free agency regardless.
I don't know why he went sign.
That makes no sense.
Porzingis said that though too.
True.
Okay.
Porzingis did say.
And the rumors
I'm bothered by him.
Wasn't gonna leave either. So.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but real quick though with the Mavericks, that Kyrie Irving, first of all, averaging almost 40 points per game this month of January has been so huge. I mean, you're talking about, of course they're going to be inconsistent this month. They have been a little inconsistent, but I've been really proud of how they've played so far, just because of the, it's the injuries. The injuries have really cost them a lot. you're going into games where it's like you don't even know who's going to play at this point. We had Dante Exum, Derek Lively, and Luka Doncic out the first game against the Pelicans. Then we go into the second game, and Lively's in, and then all of a sudden Derek Jones Jr.'s out. It's been. I got to give props to them. The Pelicans in the second game were up for a lot of that game. The Mavericks were just raining threes in that fourth quarter. I tuned in. It was an early game. I was cooking lunch. I was watching the game. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give sports another try. It was the day after the Cowboys. I was like, I'll watch some sports, man. Hopefully it doesn't ruin me like it did yesterday. And it turned out to be the complete opposite, man. I found my love for the game again. Tim Hardaway Jr., 41 points, 9 threes made. Kyrie Irving, 13 for 28, 42 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Derek Lively, 12 rebounds, going with 6 points. Josh Green also added 13 points. Had a clutch 3 at the end of the game as well. But I mean, what do y'all think? The Mavericks are about to enter a really tough stretch January. They've been winning most of the games that they should have won. Who knows when Luka's coming back? I don't know what's going on with that at all. They're just like, he's, he might play next game. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to tell y'all though yet. And then he doesn't play.
It's hilarious, honestly.
Maxi Kleber's back too, by the way. Small thing. But I don't know. What are y'all thinking? What are your thoughts?
Well, one, since that last podcast episode, did we talk about the Grizzlies loss when Bane went crazy? Did we have it on the podcast last week?
Yeah, we spoke about it. That's when they were losing Jaren Jackson and Ja. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, I love that Knicks game against Brunson and the fellas. I don't think Luka played in that game either, but that first Pelicans game was pretty rough. I'm just glad they could bounce back, like you said, in that early game a few days ago after the Cowboys loss. But I just love looking at the Mavs box scores. It's always hilarious because it's always like two guys going crazy and then everybody else just looks like a role player. It's hilarious. But like, look at Tim Hardaway in this Pelicans game last where he dropped 41, 11 of 23, 9 threes out of 15 shots. But he's be chucking it up sometimes, no hesitation. I like it sometimes.
He's like 30 feet back. I mean, I swear, dude. Were you watching the game?
No, yes, I was. But the Knicks game, he was driving me crazy within the last minute. Did you see that? Like, we kept getting rebounds. He shot it, like, immediately. Like, when we didn't even need the offensive rebound.
Quarter 3.
He was going crazy. You know what his plus-minus was in this game against the Pelicans?
No, tell me.
-1. That's insane to me. This dude dropped 41 and had a -1 plus-minus. I mean, he looked efficient. That's crazy to me. But Kyrie Irving, I apologize also, +7 plus-minus for Kyrie, 13 of 28, 3 of 9 from 3, 13 to 15 from the line. Not a super efficient day, but he did his job. I know that some Mavs fans have been upset at him for not, having this crazy dynamic with Luka while they're both on the same floor. But Derek Lively, I know he's not, going crazy with the points, but it is clear that he has made his presence known with this team. Now 20-10, the Mavs are with Derek Lively when he starts, 4-7 without him. So it helps to have a young big who can at least help space the floor.
Right there.
Yeah, who can help space the floor and at least get some nice boards. He had 12 boards against the Pelicans in that game a few days ago. So I'm not worried about this Mavs front court when he starts at least. I just want to keep him healthy, keep him young and spry because he is definitely a factor with this Mavs team, and we need him more than ever because, man, when he does not play, could you imagine if we didn't draft him right now where this team could be? I don't know.
We had Jonas Valanciunas and the Grizzlies second string players looking like prime Shaq, man. It was bad. Dude.
Bro.
Derek Lively. He's not a perfect defender, not a perfect rim protector, and all that stuff. He's not, let's not say he's Tyson Chandler right now or, Hakeem Olajuwon or anything. But, I mean, he is definitely showing his impact on the court. Definitely. And, we keep on showing up stats. You just showed that stat. I've said stats in the past. I'm sure Courtney has said some stats about him. But, I mean, just watching him, you can tell his impact.
It's the same with Zubats, bro. Like, we always make every center look like prime Shaq.
I know. I mean, anything can happen when you have Dwight Powell as your starting center. But I mean, you're looking at this. I mean, you got 51 shots, 51 shots from Kyrie and Tim Hardaway Jr. out of the 85 shots against New Orleans on Monday were from just those two players, man. It's like 2K, you know. It's like I only know these two players, man. I'm just gonna shoot with them. I don't know, man.
I ain't gonna lie, like, you know, as good, you know, shout out THJ for your 40 piece, but a 40 piece from THJ in 2024, bro, like that's what the Mavericks are like leaning on, like
that was like Romeo Dobbs. That was Romeo Dobbs going for 100 yards.
I mean,
oh my God, I'd be heated.
City, but
41, dude.
I'd be heated if I saw Tim Hardaway playing against my team and he was pulling up from 30 feet every single time he got the ball and was making it.
Legit,
that's what he was doing.
Legit, almost made me throw my phone. He like pulled up that corner three against the Knicks, bro. After the offensive rebound.
I do want to point out real quick though about the Mavericks though is that 83% from the line this game. The Mavs have not had a free throw problem this year as badly as they used to. And I want to say real quick, man, Kyrie Irving, a big help to that. I love that Kyrie Irving can actually knock down free throws. It's so therapeutic that I can go into late game situations where we're up and I know that they can get Kyrie the ball and he can get fouled and he'll make the foul shots. They actually said that he missed one of his, like, he missed a foul shot in the fourth quarter. I forgot when. It was probably about 3-4 minutes left. I forgot what they said, man, but they were like, that was his first missed free throw of the month. And I mean, he's shooting a lot, man. He's getting to the rim a lot. He's been attacking a lot, especially with Luka out. So, I mean, it's just crazy, man. I love having Kyrie Irving on this team, especially just because of the free throw stuff, man. It's so helpful.
It's good when it's your best, like, you know, one or two players instead of, you know, it used to be Seth Curry for us that we had to rely on at the line. But, you know, Luka, he's
Josh
not,
Richardson.
Yeah, Luka's just not a good free throw shooter. It is what it is, but you know I don't expect him to. When you're the main guy, you're usually not going to be an amazing free throw shooter. But it's good that Kyrie, like you said, is definitely our first or second best player, I guess, and he can knock down at least at 90% rate.
That's good. So, anyways, do we want to any more comments about the Mavericks though?
I mean, I guess the last thing I'll say is, I mean, if you think about it. January, you know, obviously, All-Star break is coming up. If you think about this time last year, the Mavericks were at, I feel like they're in the better spot. I mean, there's a reason why they had to trade for Kyrie in the trade deadline anyway. Obviously, we all know that the Mavericks didn't make the playoffs, but I think they're in a better spot now. I see the progression. Everything that was an issue last year, I can see is trying to at least get fixed. And that's really all you want from your team at the end of the day. I feel like TJ mentioned earlier, it's really just injuries. I just please, like, don't hope on Tim Hardaway Jr. for a piece ever again, bro. Like, do not win a game from that.
He ain't gonna stop shooting. And
I think it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to bet on that.
I hate to be this guy. He's had a good run, but it's time to get Maxi Kleber out of here. I'm sorry. But it's just
that's Luka. That's Luka's best friend, man.
It's his best
friend. Oh man, we already got rid of Boban. We got rid of Salah. Man. We need to keep some of his friends. Look, man. Finney's gone.
He's a nice guy, and I think his defense has gotten a tad overrated. People still talk about his great defense. It's all right, but his 3-point shooting is just it's not as great as it used to be. Like 2 years ago, we made the Western Conference Final, and also I think he's a tad uncoordinated for my taste. He's always he's like Dwight Powell a little bit, where they're just flopping around a lot. They don't know how to properly move their feet against these crazy, offensive threats.
That's what makes him so dangerous, though, man. I swear, dude.
Dangerous.
Yeah, these teams just don't
minus 12 plus minus 12.
Hey, they don't do these scouting reports, man. I'm telling you. They're like, oh, yeah, look at this unathletic white big guy. I'm just going to go drive on him. And he blocks the shit out of them every time that people go into his paint, man. He's a great blocker, great rim protector, man.
If he can help us, I'm not sure why he was starting, to be honest. I don't know why. Jason
back
Kidd,
in the groove.
I get it, but I would have started
Grant. Who we starting? Grant Williams? Oh, my God.
Honestly, over Kleber, yes. I would have Kleber come off the bench for the 6 man, yes. If not, I mean, you could run the front court with Dwight and Derek, and I wouldn't be mad at that, honestly. I wouldn't. But
I feel
I'm
you
not
gotta
sure
let him
why.
get in the groove a little bit more. So
I
I'm
mean,
not
we
sure
did have
why.
Grant playing. I think it's more. I don't know. I think it was more of a situation type thing. Playing against Zion, we like to put Maxey against kind of those types of players. And
Future
I
Dallas
think you look
Mavericks.
at it though. In the end, we played Grant Williams at the end of the game instead of Maxey
Right, he
when we were
closed.
going into clutch time. So I don't know.
Rashawn
You might have a
Holmes
point.
still getting DNP'd.
Poor guy,
Man.
man. I don't know what his family's tweeting about now, but
Oh
I'm
boy.
sure it hasn't gotten any better.
Jeez, bro.
I don't know, Jay. I
He's about
guess
to have
Jason
that
Kidd
Nerlens
on
Noel
Twitter.
downfall.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't know, man. That's pretty tough to beat.
That's a blast from the past.
Nerlens Noel. Ooh. All right, so real quick, let me venture into the Stars. They're playing the Los Angeles Kings tonight, which have kind of had a really bad year. Not expected from the Kings this year. But the Stars, they're going into this game just coming off of a win against the Chicago Blackhawks. I want to talk about just how exciting it has been watching this team this year. I've kind of ventured into like different parts of the Stars each week. I want to talk about their clutch gene. There hasn't been a lot this January. I mean, you look at Chicago though, this last game where they had only one goal, or actually 0 goals entering into the third period, outscored the Blackhawks by 3 goals in the third period, scored 3 goals. Held them to none, and come back and win the game. You look at Montreal against when we lost the game against January 2nd, where we're down by 3 goals with 5 minutes left, and we were able to come back and almost tie the game. We should have tied the game, actually. There's many games. Vancouver, for example, back in December, we had a good comeback. We just had a lot of comebacks. Also, we are plus 6, sorry. Plus 6 on goal difference in the third period in January so far. Pretty good for Dallas. I think they've just had some really good clutch games. Matt Duchene is a big help with that. Somebody who's new this year. He has 6 game-winning goals this year, and he's had a lot in overtime. I love Matt Duchene, man. I'll never. He might be my favorite player on the Stars now. I don't know. Heiskanen. Good news about Heiskanen though. He's about to come back. Same with Wedgwood. But I mean, you're looking at Duchene, man. He is so much fun to watch, man. Especially when it's 3-on-3 hockey. This man is just like he's like Pascal Siakam of hockey, with the spin moves, man. He just
That's wild.
That's
wild.
he is crazy with spinning and getting defenders off of him. Especially in the offensive zone. But I mean, I really do like the Stars team. Like I said last week, like I said the week before. This team has been a little inconsistent this January. They've had 2 losses to Nashville at home in recent times, but I do like that this team is kind of built for the third period at times. Colorado is kind of not a good example of that, but many games this year they've had really good third periods. They've been able to kind of just be like, maybe we should win this game, and they go out there and win it most of the time. So. I gotta respect the Stars. Does anyone want to say anything about the Stars?
I just know Matt Duchene.
Good all.
I like how you ask questions like it's a press conference sometimes.
Stars, man.
No, but Matt Duchene, I know he's like a little bit of a
got
character.
One more question, all right. One more question. He's got to get on a flight.
One more, TJ. Yeah, Matt
all right,
Duchene.
we're done here.
Dude, that Mike Tomlin clip, speaking of press conferences, that Mike Tomlin clip is hilarious. He was not entertaining those contract talks. But Matt Duchene, I heard he's a little bit of a character. But it's been good to watch, at least, this defense. No, you don't think so?
Be like, it's like a Kyrie situation. People could say he's a character, man. He might be a character.
Not a bad thing. But... Not a bad thing, I mean. I'm just saying, like, he's like an entertaining guy. But
I remember I was in the nosebleeds and he was coming off of a line change. They had a bad line, and I heard him from the nosebleeds. I just hear his like stick like hit the bench, and I just hear him go, "Fuck!"
I need to go to.
I can hear it from the nosebleeds. You can hear it from the nosebleeds. This guy was so loud. So
we got to go to a Stars game when we get back. But man,
Stars.
I still have never been to one, but yeah, this team they had a rocky January, like you said. You projected it, and like hockey season is always up and down. You don't expect it to be like so straightforward. Like I said, like the Bruins last year, eventually had a bad downfall, but they made it look easy for the regular season. But for the Stars team, I know Scott Wedgwood has been holding the goaltender down for a while for a second, right? Because our primary goaltender has been a little bit banged up, but they've been holding it down over pretty well. So I hope they can get back on track. I still like what DeBoer is doing overall, at least keeping the guys at bay through all the injuries. Not much to say, I guess. Just what you expect in the midseason.
Yeah, not the new Alabama head coach, by the way. Pete DeBoer, head coach of the Stars.
Yeah, Pete DeBoer. Former Vegas Golden Knights coach, by the way.
Yeah. Tough, man. I wish he could have beat them last year, but hey,
yeah,
we got another year. I'm telling you, man, I hope the Knights can regain themselves, get a good seeding in the playoffs. I want to rematch them this year. They've had our number this year in the regular season, but that doesn't mean anything. We had their number in the regular season last year too, and they blew us out in the playoffs. I'd love to see this rivalry kind of blossom with these two Southern teams for sure. So anyways, as you could probably notice, me and Joseph have gone a little bit darker over time. The sun's starting to set. We're going to have to wrap this up.
For sure.
What do you mean?
God, jump scare. Oh, man.
Oh, ghost, oogly boogly.
All right. So, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Do y'all want to plug in the socials real quick?
Yeah, you can follow me on it. I would love to, TJ. Instagram and Twitter.
One more.
Follow me. One more, Mr.
Quick.
Krulwitz. One more. Yeah, my social media, Instagram and Twitter is what I have. At Joseph_Duffy99. You can follow me on Instagram or X, I guess. At Joseph_Duffy99. It's the same for both.
Twitter. Instagram, clivesdalife. Twitter. Shout out to all my Courtney maniacs out there, man. My Twitter is c_Machani. We gonna be back on Twitter soon for sure.
Wait, what'd you say?
My Courtney maniacs, man. That's
Maniacs.
That's the name of my fan base, bro. Like,
that's crazy.
We a good group. I'm gonna be back on Twitter soon.
Yeah, bro. Where's the Instagram page?
Jeez.
We started more of this Patreon. 2024. Let's go.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at tj.krilowic, on Twitter /X. I still am holding out hope that eventually X will be renamed Twitter again one day.
Please, God.
That
Please
will be TJ_Krilowic. And of course, you can follow the 214 Sports Show all on Twitter /X, Instagram, TikTok. We'll also all at 214 Sports Show for all the social media links. YouTube and Spotify. We upload here every Thursday, Everything Dallas Sports. And we really appreciate y'all tuning in, especially for our Cowboys coverage over the year. We'll still continue to talk about them throughout the offseason and eventually the horrible moves that we'll probably make. And we'll be there to question it every week at 11 a.m. on Thursday. I hope y'all are staying warm. I know in Dallas there's some snow. There's some snow this week. We didn't get any in Austin. We're back for school. We actually had our first day of school today. How did y'all's first day of classes go, by the way?
Good question. That's a great question.
Jay Hartzell said, "Y'all coming to school? We ain't about to cancel. We ain't about to cancel here." But yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was that bad. Courtney was shivering, but he said, "Give me some Vaseline, Joe, please. I need some Vaseline." He said my lips are chapped. I didn't think it was that bad. So I bundle up crazy. So I mean, I was pretty warm. But when the wind comes, that's when it gets a little bit bad.
Nah, he was bundled up. I only had like a hoodie. I've always been like a more colder person. Like, I can't really accept cold weather. So like, I had a hoodie on. I'm staying inside for the rest of the day, bro. Like,
Brett Favre jersey checks out now.
Come on,
this guy likes the cold.
I'm from Texas, bro. Like, well, we all are. I'm not gonna like we all are from Texas, but like, I'm a different type of Texan, bro. Like, I need my heat, bro. It was not for me. And my lips, Joe exposed me, but my lips were chapped. They were chapped.
That's crazy.
It was bad, bro.
That's insane.
Well, that's good, man. That's good, you know.
Oh, first day was good. It was good though. Like, the classes.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah, first day of classes were good. So, we wish that everybody back in Dallas, everybody wherever you're watching this, is staying warm. I'm sure it's cold everywhere in the United States, other than probably like Florida, LA. Of course, those places just always stay warm. Jealous of that, but anyways. Before the sun sets, we should end this episode. So, we really appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all have a great week. Stay warm, and we'll catch you next week at Thursday at 11 a.m.